Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we dive into the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and explore the road ahead for them and their companies. I'm your host, Ammar, and in each episode, we uncover the stories behind impactful ventures, the challenges faced along the way, and the strategies driving their future growth. Today, we're absolutely thrilled to be joined by Mona Reza, founder of Stellar 5 Legal, a boutique tax and estate planning firm designed for female founders navigating pivotal life transitions from business launches to legacy planning. With nearly 3 decades of experience, an LLM in taxation, and a Six Sigma background, Mona brings precision, empathy, and systems driven counsel to entrepreneurial women. Mona, welcome to Founders Future.
Thank you so much, Ammar. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. I'm excited to dive in. I know you have two companies. You've got Stellar 5 Consulting and you've got Stellar 5 Legal. I always like to take things back before that. So take us on a little trip down memory lane to before you started both of those companies. What were you doing at the time? And then what was really the motivation behind starting your companies?
I think with a lot of founders and entrepreneurs, it's not always just, I want to start a business. It comes out of some difficulty or some change in your life. And for me, I will take it back to 2011, 12. My dad had passed away. I had two small children. My husband was a young physician, started his own practice, and I was working at a wonderful tax law firm, really hitting my stride, working full time. And our accountant called and he said that I need you to get into your husband's practice and find out what's going on. He doesn't have
Mm,
QuickBooks. We need to kind of get a handle on this. So I thought, okay, not a big deal. I went in and I started looking and I just started finding money. Everywhere I
mm,
looked, there's money. There's misappropriation by the billing company. There's things that aren't being billed. There's codes that are wrong. And I don't know anything about this, right? So I'm trying to learn as I go. And I asked the accountant, I'm like, aren't there people who do this? And he said, yes, but it's ten to $15,000. They'll come in and they'll audit your whole practice. And we just didn't have that, and it didn't make sense. And I was doing well enough. I was finding enough money that I went back to the firm and I said, I think this is what I need to do for my family. Let's flip it. I'll go of counsel and I'll stay here part time, but I'm going to focus there. And they loved it because they're entrepreneurial too. They saw the opportunity to build the law firm. And so when I went in, within 18 months, I was able to bring his bottom line to seven figures. I tripled it in 18 months. And that's not so much because I'm so great at this. It's because there's so much money there, especially in small medical practices, and they just don't have the time to focus and do it. And they don't have $10,000 to pay someone to do it. So that was the hole in that market. And I was able to go in and help with that. At the same time, I'm still practicing law, right? I'm bringing clients in, I'm working hard, I'm trying to do both of the things. And when I came to this crossroads, maybe right before the pandemic. I didn't know it was coming. And so in January of 2020, I had a law firm client ask me to come and do significant work for her healthcare business. And I
mm.
went ahead and founded my LLC. And then her business collapsed in March. And I still had this LLC. So I was trying to figure out, what do I do with this? And the more I kind of investigated avenues for the healthcare consulting business, the more clients I started getting for the law firm. And I
Interesting.
realized all those years, I think I brought in more law firm clients in that first year of having a healthcare business than I ever did just being a lawyer. And I saw how they worked together. And I was able to launch the consulting business at a time when I needed that flexibility for my family, when I wanted to continue practicing at a high level but maybe not so many hours a week that somebody else owned. And
Mm.
in a way that I was able to help my family grow our family business, spend more time with my husband. And so it wasn't easy, but I think it came at a time that was right for our family. And it just organically grew into then these two businesses in the last year.
Awesome. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing your story. And you're right, it doesn't always come from a place of I want to start a business. Sometimes you stumble upon things and you realize, oh, I have a unique skill set that is actually very valuable in the marketplace.
Yeah.
It starts something from this. So let's fast forward to give the listeners a little bit more context into your two different businesses, Stellar 5 Consulting and Stellar 5 Legal. Let's start off with who is the ideal customer for each of those businesses?
Okay. I know you've heard the riches are in the niches. You can't do everything. You can't be everything to everyone. And so as the law firm really picked up about maybe 8 months ago, I decided that I was going to really focus on female founders and entrepreneurs because I think we have needs that aren't necessarily met in the market, right? That but to get that kind of legal advice or estate planning advice, you want someone who gets you, who understands it and is able to break it down for you. I always tell my clients, if your lawyer can't explain it to you, or your financial planner or your accountant, like you're five, it means they don't really understand it, right?
Mm,
It's not reflective of you. It's reflective of who's explaining it to you. And
yeah.
so I found I was doing more and more of that. And I wanted to be able to focus my attention to that market. And of course, I have a lot of wonderful clients who are men, but they'll go anywhere, right? Men will go to anybody. I think for female founders and entrepreneurs, you need something a little bit more tailored to us. You need advisors who get you and don't tell you that you can't do it, but sit
Mhm.
down with you and say, okay, how are we going to make this work?
Got
And
it.
so as I did that, you can't do so many things. So the consulting business initially, it was broader. I really pulled it into healthcare consulting only. And I recently converted it to a course. And so,
Okay.
yeah, to have something that is more affordable for smaller businesses. So it's an evergreen course that has multiple levels. Like you can go in and just take the course if you want to do it. It's based on Six Sigma principles. There's a
Cool.
workbook that you can download and work through it yourself. Or I recently offered a version of it for the city of Greenbelt, where there are 4 sessions. Every 2 weeks, you do a self-paced course, and then you have an hour with me where I go through different things, consult with you, help you troubleshoot problems in your business, and help people find money. It's
Yep.
what I did for my husband. It's the bottom line for everybody. Help people develop ancillaries in their healthcare businesses because it's at a crisis point right now. And that makes it something that's still very manageable for me, having both the businesses, because you don't want to do it badly, right? Like you want to do everything well. And so, really keeping the scope of the healthcare business narrow and focusing my law firm's efforts the same way allow me to do a really good job with both.
Got it. So Stellar 5 Consulting, let me just make sure I see this clearly. That is just a course now at this point. They can't come in and work with you directly. Is that accurate?
No, they can. I think I want to have a price point for everyone, though, right? So there's so much material that you have to absorb. What I'm not going to do is come in and go through your office and go through your books and do all of that. Not at this point. But I will help train your staff. I will come in and do seminars for groups. I'm envisioning also family members like me who don't
Mm,
know anything about healthcare business. And so it's like a boot camp for coming in and running that healthcare business, teaching you the things you need to know, giving you practical ways to do audits of your own systems and your own finances and find that money the same way that I did when I didn't have that experience.
got it. Okay. And then the Stellar 5 legal part, that's where you're working with female founders and entrepreneurs, helping them with legal, tax, estate planning. Is
Yes.
that
And
accurate?
it's accurate, but there's two parts to that. What
Please.
I'm trying to build is a firm that is the firm that I wish I had when I
Mm,
was younger. I think after 20 some years of practicing law with a lot of great firms, I finally did leave at the end of last year because I found that you don't really have a voice, right? Coming in as a part-time attorney of counsel, you've brought so much business in, you've invested so much of yourself, but because you weren't there all those hours, because you're not truly a partner in that firm, when you come to this point where you are looking towards the next step in your career, you don't always find that that's valued. And I'm hearing that a lot from a lot of other attorneys. So I'm trying to build a model that is based on, I don't even know how to really express it. It's not a franchise. It's more like a distributed model where you come in and we've built out for you a tech stack. We've built out for you the marketing and all of those things. And so the vision I have is a young mom or young parent who wants to practice transactional law at a very high level, coming in, joins us, pays that membership fee, and we hand her a laptop that's fully loaded with everything that she needs to do her job. And we take care of the rest of it. And she keeps paying into this. And I've been asked, why would somebody do that and not just start their own firm? Of course they can. but she pays into this. And when she's ready to take that next step and she really wants partnership, that's the goal. We take some of what you've put in and apply it towards your buy-in to partnership. And
Mhm.
so you have as much as you want to have. If you just want to have that back end taken care of and do what you do and then take 6 months off out of the year and travel, that's fine. That's up to you.
Yeah.
But if you are looking 5, 10 years down the road and you know that you want something that's yours, that you own, we are building a structure for that as well.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Okay, so let's dive into the marketing piece and the lead generation piece when it comes to both the consulting and the legal side.
Sure.
Do you actually acquire customers? What does that process look like?
That's an interesting question. It's been word of mouth so far, right? Like right now, it's been word of mouth. I'm not super comfortable making Instagram videos. I absolutely don't do TikTok, none of that. And God bless, it's been a lot of word of mouth. We get clients who are the sister-in-law of somebody else or someone's heard of us. I speak at conferences, I teach these classes, and people will come back and ask to work with me one to one or in a smaller group. And that's the way we've been growing so far. I think we are at the next level where we are looking at other ways of marketing. I don't even have Google Ads yet. I think it's there's so much going on
Yeah.
that we're building that structure out.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Is there anything in your mind that you're exploring for the future in terms of marketing initiatives, campaigns, that kind of stuff?
Absolutely. We have a YouTube channel that we have nothing on. And so we're going to grow that out. I even with the law firm, I wanted to be really truly what I want it to be is something cost efficient that people leave really understanding what they just did. And I know people get so worried about, oh my, is it billable? Is your time billable? It is billable. But I want to build it out in a package where, when I send you your estate planning, I'm sending it to you piecemeal. We've got a little video explaining to you what your document says. We've got videos explaining concepts that everybody gets tripped up on. And so then
Yeah.
you don't have to call me. And that's not billable. It's part of what you already paid. And you're affirmatively choosing to talk to me for another hour or another hour. And so you have control over that cost. And so
Hmm.
even for the marketing, it's a dual purpose, right? Because as we're building out that video collection, the things that are more generic can be repurposed for marketing. I
Yep.
think, I wish I had more time. I have a wonderful executive assistant finally, and she's helping me build out my calendar and all
Awesome.
the requests for what I need to do. I need to work on my Substack. I need to create more of those videos. I need to get out there and speak to more people. So absolutely. There's a plan. There's a plan. But
There you go. When you think of your sales process, so once somebody raises their hand, hey, Mona, I'm interested in working with you,
yeah,
what are different steps in the sales process for them to become a client?
I think we have to be a good fit, right? I don't want you to ever feel like you're pushed into working with me or that you're not happy with of the way that we do things together. So a big part of the process, whether it's law firm, whether it's consulting, is me understanding why you want whatever it is, right? Why are we talking about your estate planning today versus 5 years ago or 5 years down the road? What's brought you in here? And how are we going to get you to where you want to be? And with the healthcare business, it's the same thing. It's understanding what you're willing to put into it, right?
Yeah.
Because I can tell you all of it, but you're not going to just make money by listening to the course. Are you willing to put the time into figuring out where the problems are, where the money is, how to find it?
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. So you're running the sales right now. Is that eventually something that you want to delegate?
Probably, but I think on a more, better than I do, it's that funnel, right? That for the people who want to work with me, they have to talk to me. They have to be able to meet with me. I have to be able to communicate what the offer is to them. Now, once that's done, I'm building out that team that is trained to be able to guide them through the process. And I think as we grow both of the ventures, right? The healthcare business, it can be international. It doesn't matter because it's all online. It doesn't require licensure. It's anybody who wants to participate. And so for that, absolutely, I think I would love to have a much bigger marketing reach. For the law firm, I really want to be focused on the real quality of the growth and build my communities out in pods so that we are covering the area that we want to cover. I'm making sure that everybody has the mentorship that they need and that everything's in place. It's a much newer business.
Yeah,
So I would say certainly for the consulting, it's ready for a bigger marketing push.
got it. When you think of your next 12 months, 24 months, what is your vision? Are there any specific revenue targets, performance targets, and maybe we can split it out between the two companies?
Yeah. So I think for, let's see, the consulting business, I'd like to hit seven figures by the end of the year for the consulting business. I think it's possible. I didn't know when I was like first doing it, I was kind of like, how do I, as one person, right? How do I get out there and make sure that I'm really impacting all of these people? And the other part of it is that I don't want to be the company that's charging $10,000, $15,000 a month. That already exists. And the people who are doing that are probably better suited to do it than I am. I'm not an accountant. I'm not a forensic accountant. I'm an attorney and I am married to a physician. So I come from a really unique perspective. So how do we keep it small without me spending all my time in doctor's offices going through their books? I think I finally hit upon it. And I've gotten great feedback from people who have taken the course, which really, it excites me. The idea that we can really get this into the hands of a lot of different businesses and they can really turn things around themselves.
Yeah. What do you feel like is the biggest challenge you're facing right now to growing even further?
Time. Honestly, I wish I had more time to do all the things. I've been delegating more. I'm getting better about delegating, and hopefully that'll help a lot. I think I hate borrowing money, so it's been a lot of bootstrapping.
Yeah,
I've considered maybe pitch competitions, things like that, where we get grant money. But I think if I had an unlimited budget and I was able to really pull in teams to do different things in a way that I want them done, we could grow exponentially.
yeah. So reinvesting into talent, essentially.
Into talent, into the training, all of it, even marketing, right?
Yeah,
All of these different pieces, they're all sitting there ready to go. It's just a matter of, when you're bootstrapping, it's a matter of everything has a turn, right? If somebody gave me $200,000 and said, go, grow this, I think I absolutely could.
yeah,
The plan is there, the foundation's there, the talent is there, but I have to be really thoughtful about where I'm spending money.
got it. That makes perfect sense, especially when you're bootstrapping. A lot of founders that I talk to are doing the same exact thing. They're not always funded, which is a
Yeah.
blessing and a curse. Sometimes you learn a lot from the process, and a lot of startups just waste millions of dollars anyways. So
Yeah.
let's go into a quick closing lightning round. So I'll rattle off some questions at you, and
Okay.
don't think too much, just the first thing that comes to mind.
Okay.
What's one tool or resource that's been a game changer for you in your companies?
Oh, ChatGPT.
Okay. How do you use it specifically?
Oh, really a really low level legal assistant, right? Like the dopiest assistant you've ever had. I put it out there and I'll say, hey, can you make me a list of the things I should have thought about before I started drafting this? And it'll just
Mm,
throw things out. Never rely on it. I don't quote ChatGPT on anything. I always verify what she tells me, but it's so helpful just to get that quick overview that then triggers my, memory and my thoughts on what I want to do next.
awesome. Yeah, I talk to chat every single day. It's
Yeah.
huge. If you could talk to new entrepreneurs and give them a piece of advice that you wish you knew when you were first starting off, what would that be?
Don't give up. I think that you will have your original idea and you're going to have where you end up. And all along the way, those iterations, those changes that make your idea great are going to look like failures. Oh, I had a bad idea. This isn't going to work. Nobody wants to buy this. And maybe that's true for that version of your idea. Keep
Mhm.
going, keep pushing through because when it hits, it's going to hit hard.
Yeah,
You just have to keep moving forward.
I like that. And what's the best way for people to reach out to you?
LinkedIn, I love LinkedIn. I call it my Rolodex because I'm old. Also, either of my emails, mona@stellar5consulting.com or mona@stellar5legal.com. The website, they both go to the same place at the end, but you can search either one.
Awesome. Mona, thank you so much for your time today. I
Thank you,
appreciate
Ammar. So good to meet you.
you as well. So that wraps up another insightful episode of Founders Future. To our listeners, if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. And if you're a business owner and you're really looking to scale your business and enhance your sales and marketing efforts, visit closers.io to discover how we can support your growth journey. Until then, keep on climbing.